Welcome to The Creative Influencer, where we discuss all things creative with an emphasis on influencers. The Creative Influencer is hosted by John Pfeiffer. John is an entertainment attorney in Santa Monica, California, who represents influencers and other creatives.
This is episode 7 of the first season of the Creative Influencer podcast. Today we interview Ashley Nichole. Ashley is an influencer who is on the rise. She gives us a behind-the-scenes look into the brainstorming, filming, and producing process of creating a hit YouTube video. She and her sister Alicia Marie, who I interviewed back in episode 3, collaborate together when creating their content, working to bring the best out in each other. Enjoy. I am joined today by Ashley McDonald. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You have 1.1 million YouTube subscribers.
I do.
Almost 1 million Instagram followers.
Wow.
And you hate the word cluster.
I do hate I hate it.
Why do you hate the word
Who
cluster?
Who told you this? Someone sold me out. It's one of those words that just gives me goosebumps and I don't like to think about it. I think if you want to know everything, I think it's the beginning of like a phobia called, it's like trichomophobia. I don't know the actual name, but it's a bunch of like.
So we're gonna have some counseling today.
It's a bunch of like things, holes like next to each other. Trichophobia. I forget the word. I'm gonna have to Google it. But I think that word that you said like reminds me of that. And so that's what I think of, and that's why I don't like it.
Okay, so we won't say it again.
No.
Okay.
It's unnecessary.
The word that shall not be said. Let's start with your Instagram account.
Okay.
You have a great Instagram account.
Thank you so much.
When did you start on Instagram?
I started it the year it came out. Everyone.
Why
I'm
Instagram?
trying to think what year it was. It was 2011, 2010. I forget the first year it opened up, but I've always loved photography. My dad loves photography. He got us into it, and so I enjoyed it very much, and it made photography really easy with all the filters. Do you remember the beginning of Instagram? Like the heavy filters it had? I was all about them. So I'm not going to lie. I work really hard on mine.
It shows.
Thank you.
How do you decide what to post?
I like to have not just me, so I'll do like a few pictures of me because those obviously do better than pictures without me in it. But then I'll do like a scenic picture.
So a picture of you is better than a picture of a tree?
Always. Picture of me, if I'm in it versus like me not being in it, it'll always get at least like 10,000 more likes, which is so weird, but that kind of makes sense also.
And other than knowing that if you're in it, it gets more likes, can you predict which photos are going to get more likes than other photos?
Yeah, if it's usually like headshots like closer up pictures do better than far away pictures. Or scenic pictures never do as well as like an outfit pic, like a close-up detail.
What about pictures with more than one person in it?
That's always good. That's always good, which I don't get enough of.
Who takes your photos?
Usually my sister. So I take pictures of her and she takes pictures of me, but then every once in a while I'll collaborate with photographers that are friends or people that are looking to like branch out into social media. Because I'm always looking to get my picture taken on the least selfish level possible. Like I need people to take pictures, so whenever I find someone who's willing to do it, I'm like, hey,
who sets up the seed? I mean, who sets it up?
It depends. Like I've been in groups of people where I've like hung out with friends and met people that did photography, and I'm like, hey, if you ever need a model, just let me know. I always need pictures, and they're either down or they'll see my Instagram account and say, hey, I'd love to shoot with you sometime.
In one of your recent posts, you let your Instagram followers control your life for a day.
I did.
How did that go?
That was really fun. It's a super trendy video right now. And basically on my Instagram stories, I gave them options with the poll feature. I would say, hey, do I do this or do I do this? And then I'd wait 10, 15 minutes, see what the answer was, and then I would proceed with the winning choice.
Did you know in advance what it was probably going to be?
Usually I would try to make it a little bit of a tougher decision sometimes, but I feel like I kind of knew most of the time what they were going to go with. So it was a little easier. I would love to do it again and give myself more complicated options.
Kind of shifting gears.
Yeah.
You recently had a trip to Greece.
I did.
With other influencers.
I did. I just
How many
got
other
back.
influencers?
Oh my gosh, so many. I thought, secret, I thought it was just like me and one boat on a yacht in Greece. That's all I thought it was. It turns out there was 85 people total and 14 boats, and each boat had like 6 influencers on it. So there was a lot of us. I don't have an exact number for you, but that gives you like an idea of how many people. And I can just tell you, every party, every dinner, there were cameras everywhere. Everyone was filming everything, and you were in the background of everyone's vlog. It was complicated, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
What's the impact, the emotional impact of recording yourself 24/7 like that?
I feel like it could be a lot. I think what's happened and what no one really expected it to be is it's become kind of like a diary. So it's kind of therapeutic. So I've learned to be very vulnerable with my audience and the people that watch my content. And I've also learned that the more vulnerable I get, the more I let them see my life, the more like they respond to it.
So a video journal.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a video journal is a good way to put it. So that's how I personally take it. It's kind of like having someone there every single day and just like to talk with. And it sounds weird because I'm literally talking to myself like on a camera, but getting their feedback and responses online, that means a lot to me.
Do you shoot yourself, or do you have somebody shoot you for the vlogs?
For vlogs, I shoot myself every single time. For my main channel video, I'll either shoot myself or I'll have someone film it for me. That's a little more produced and a little more complicated. Right. But with the vlog, I'll just hold it at arm's length, and I'll use like a wide lens, so
selfie
not
video.
Too close. But yeah, that's all I do.
How do you get? I mean, when you wake up in the morning and you decide, okay, I'm going to document my day today.
Yeah.
How much advanced thinking do you do about what you're going to do?
It depends on what I'm doing that day. So if I'm doing something fun, like if there's an event or I'm going to a party or if I'm even going to Disneyland or I'm filming that day, I have an idea of what I need to do. So I'll have that planned in advance. If it's just a home vlog, then I try not to plan in advance and make it more raw. Because I feel like that's what people like about home vlogs, is that it's just a day in my life, like at home. So I'll try not to think too much about that one.
Which is the perfect transition to YouTube.
Oh, well, I'm a natural.
Yeah, thank you. Tell me about when you decided to start a YouTube channel.
Okay. My sister started first. You know this. I filmed for her and did photography for her and kind of helped her channel grow when it was in its probably 4th year.
Younger sister, older sister?
Younger sister, 3 years apart. So her channel was doing good, and then I came on board and started filming and helping her out with her channel, and it just took off. It was a random, really crazy time for the both of us because she was starting to realize that this could become like a job for her.
This is something.
Yeah, and at the same time, we had just moved out of our parents' house, and I was going to school, and I had quit my full-time job to move for college, and I was going to begin looking for a full-time job, and that's when we realized that this could be our full-time job for both of us.
And I'm jumping ahead a second, but is it now your full-time job?
It is now my full-time job, and it's funny because it started off her being like my boss and me doing everything I could to help her channel, and now I still film for her and I still do photography for her, but I have my own channel now, and that's my full-time job.
So when you started, what were your first videos?
My first videos were very
They were produced videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just me in my bedroom. They were a lot of fashion and beauty videos. So it was very tutorial, how I do like an everyday makeup look, what's in my bag, a shopping haul, summer clothing haul, that kind of stuff. And those are the videos. It's so funny. Even to this day, those are the videos I still watch. Like, I love watching those kinds of videos.
Are the initial videos still online?
Yeah. I want to take them down because they're so awkward, but I never will because it's great. It's a good time. If you're
it's
bored.
already been out.
Yeah. Go give it a watch. It's funny.
Have you ever deleted videos?
I haven't. Not yet, at least.
When you started, did you have a schedule? I mean, that I'm going to put up one a week?
Yeah. When I first started, no. About midway through, it became, okay, I feel like I can... once I finished school, I was like, okay, I can do this once a week.
You are a college graduate.
I am. It took a long time, but I'm here. I got it done. That's all that matters.
What's your degree?
I did communications.
Naturally.
Yeah, I tried. And I minored in theology, and that was a couple years ago now. So yeah, the schedule is trying to be once a week. And it's hard because it's not always, but...
I mean, because that's what they say, and I don't know who they is.
Yeah.
That's what they always
Who
say.
is they?
Yeah,
I hate they.
So now that it's full-time, what's a typical workday look like?
Okay. It's never the same, which is frustrating, except if we're home, because especially right now, because we've been traveling a lot, but if we're home, Mondays is our meeting days. So we call it Monday meetings, and it's a day that we plan the whole week. We plan Alicia's videos, we plan my videos, we plan around events, who's going to those events, if we want to go to those events or not. Everything happens on Monday. And then I'll pick a day that I want to film, and she'll pick a day that she wants to film. And then, like, for example, if she wants to film on Tuesday, I wake up, I don't vlog, I don't even get ready sometimes. I'll just put on, like...
You're just cameraman mode.
I'm just cameraman mode. And it's the best because I don't have to think of anything else while I'm doing it. Whereas before, if I was vlogging or if I had school, I'd be distracted the whole time.
And when you're the cameraman, do you help your sister decide what the content should be, and does she help you decide what your content should be?
Yeah, and it helps a lot to have someone to bounce that back and forth with. So when I'm filming, we'll have already on Monday because meetings.
Okay, let's go back to Monday meetings.
Yeah, on Monday meetings, she'll give me like an outline of what she wants the video to look like, opening shots, like closing shots, specific scenes, and I'll tell her like vice versa if she's helping me film or not. And so that way, the day of filming, if she's stuck on something, I'll already know what the outline is, and I'll be able to help her make a decision. If that makes sense.
It does. Do you kind of whiteboard it, or do you just sit and talk back and forth?
We just sit and talk back and forth. 'Cause it usually, the hardest part is her explaining what she wants, because it's all in her head, you know. But once she gets that out and helps me see like her vision for the video, then I can help her decide. And then what about you?
Where do you get your ideas?
That is a good question. I feel like that's what everyone struggles with. We'll sit here on our meeting days and brainstorm for hours of content ideas, video ideas, things we could change, fun things we could try. But I swear 90% of the time, just going out with friends and talking with friends or family will spark ideas. And I feel like that's where the good ideas come from.
Do you have a journal with you?
I do. It's that one. Alicia has like 5 of them.
And do you jot them down as you think of them? Do you just
I usually end up writing it on my phone, and then I have a document with my manager where I'll put it on there, and she'll help me decide like which ones are really good and which ones need more work, and I'll brainstorm in my journal usually of how I would want that video to go. Okay. Writing really helps.
So you do keep a written journal as well as the vlog?
Yeah, I do.
How long does it take you to fully develop, okay, here's going to be this week's video. How long does it take to fully develop that?
Again, it depends on the video, but if it's a simple sit-down video, usually most of mine are, so mine don't take too much work because I already know like what I usually just sit down and talk. So mine's a little more vulnerable. Alicia's has gotten to a point where it's a lot more produced. So hers take a lot longer to actually execute, because we go through the script phase. We go through where we would want to film it. We would ask people to be in it or not be in it, and then we'd have to actually film it.
So so on Monday you decide what you're going to do all week. Mm-hmm. On the days when you're not shooting, how much time do you spend consuming content?
Oh Oh my gosh, all the time. There's always, it's down right now, but our TV's always playing someone's YouTube channel. And then our computers or our tablets are always playing someone's channel. Do you have cable? I do, but I don't use it. We should really delete it. It's a waste of money.
Is it mostly YouTube?
Yeah, we usually just watch YouTube all the time.
And then how do you decide who to watch?
Well,
how do you discover new content?
Yeah, I have my favorites, but YouTube's pretty good at, you know how you click one video and then just the next one starts. I usually just let it play, and if I don't like it, I'll skip it. And then that's how I found new YouTubers that I enjoy. And I feel like that's honestly, it's really smart of them, because it's just a constant flow of new content.
So on the days you're not shooting, the TV goes on. Mm-hmm. Is it on all day with YouTube running?
Usually. Even if the sound's not on, sometimes I'll mute it while I'm like, if I have a phone call or if we're talking or whatever, but it's usually playing. So in the background somewhere.
Are you a sports person?
No.
It's okay. I did the same with ESPN. What do you do with YouTube? So
I did a band in high school. Not to pick sides, but that was me. If you could picture that, go for it.
What did you play?
I played drums. So I was in drumline and choir. And I stayed away from sports entirely. I'm not good at the hand-eye coordination thing.
Is YouTube your favorite social media platform, or is it Instagram?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's really hard. Okay, I'm gonna go with YouTube, I think, because I've been on it longer and I feel like I've grown the most on there, but Instagram is coming up quick. Like, it's grown so much just these last 2 years.
Instagram you can look at in the elevator. I mean, it's just like
you can. I do. I'm on it all the time, and I'm actually trying really hard to like discipline myself to not wake up and grab my phone and start scrolling. And I've been trying really hard to read before bed instead of scrolling before bed. But it's something that I feel like I grab my phone when I'm bored. I grab my phone when I'm in line at the grocery store, or I grab my phone when I'm sitting in traffic with a friend, and I just start scrolling. And it's this weird phenomenon that I feel like everyone's experiencing at the same time.
I was going to say, you're not alone.
Yeah, like everyone's doing it. It's weird.
Given that everybody's doing it, how do you differentiate yourself?
Yeah, that's hard too.
Because I was looking for a different reason. I was looking to see how many YouTube subscribers there are.
Oh, okay.
There's 46 million people with channels. This is according to YouTube.
Right.
And something like 96 million users.
That's insane. On YouTube.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And that there are 5,000, a little over 5,000 people with over 1 million followers.
And that on its own is so much. That's so much. That's hard. Like, how do you compete with that?
How do you compete with that?
I don't know. Everyone will say upload one, like have a consistent schedule.
Right.
And then I think something that, it sounds so weird, but people say the same thing about my videos that they do my Instagram. They say it's very satisfying to like watch and look at. So whatever it is that everyone likes about your channel, I feel like that's what you need to.
Has anybody ever told you what that is, other than it's satisfying?
No one can tell me. They're always like, oh my God, I love watching your videos. It's so satisfying and calming and peaceful to listen to and watch. And then they'll say the same thing about my Instagram. They'll be scrolling through my feed and they'll be like, this is so satisfying. Like, what is it about it? And I'm like, I don't know. Can you tell me? Because I would love to know. Other than
that, yeah.
Maybe like the soft, more muted tones that I use is the only thing I could think of, or the chill music in the background. That's the only thing I can really think of.
What has been your biggest challenge?
And
I'm purposely kind of jumping around here.
Yeah, no, this is good. The hardest thing for me is staying self-disciplined and working at home is really hard. Alicia's great at it. She's very tunnel. She can put herself in a bubble and not hear or see anyone or anything happening around her. And she'll sit right where you're sitting and just stare at her computer and get so much work done. Whereas like me, I get distracted by everything. It takes me a lot of effort to sit down and focus. And once I get the ball rolling, then I'm good. Like I'll get it done, but it takes a lot for me to focus and get myself situated.
So it sounds like a compliment, especially because you are the cameraman.
Yeah.
You have to be focused that day.
Yeah.
And you have already decided the day you're going to shoot.
Yeah.
You're going to have your video shot.
Yeah. So on filming days, I feel like I'm fine. Like that's not a problem for me. It's sitting down and editing it that's a really hard thing for me. Because one, I'm not a good editor. I taught myself. And
what do you use to edit?
I use Final Cut Pro. Everyone is saying I need to switch to Premiere. But it's not as user-friendly, and it stresses me out a little bit just looking at it, so I haven't done it yet. But I've talked to multiple people where we've decided that I need to step it up and switch it out. But I like Final Cut. I don't want to switch. It took forever to learn it. So
there is no rule that says
there is no rule. No one needs to know.
Yeah.
It's just our secret.
I won't tell anybody.
Thank you.
In one of your videos, you touch on the reward you sometimes feel for being a YouTuber. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. I feel so blessed because my subscribers are genuinely the sweetest people I've ever met. And I meet them all the time. I'll meet them at coffee shops, when I'm out shopping, like running errands, or at events where there's like a scheduled meetup. I've met so many of them, and they're all so encouraging and kind, and they'll oftentimes open up about their own lives and things that they're struggling with and how my videos have helped them. And it breaks me down every single time. And it's the most rewarding thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Do you read your comments?
Yes. I can't read them all, but especially the first, like, for example, if I put a video up, the first 2 hours of it being up, I'm on there and I'm liking comments, I'm responding to comments, I'm very active, and then I'll do the same thing the next day for a designated period of time, but I can't respond to all of them, but I guarantee you I respond to as much as I can.
Why do you pick the first 2 hours?
One, like once I get the video up, it's a very exciting time. It's just like
did anybody see it?
I'm like, I did it. It's up, So I'm on there and I'm watching it and I'm rewatching it and making sure everything went well. And then I love just seeing the response to see if it's a good response, if they like the video, if they like the concept, how quick they clicked it. A lot of times they'll be like, oh, good thumbnail, like really liked the thumbnail, clicked it right away. Or sometimes if there's not a quick response, that kind of tells me like, it wasn't that great of a concept. Try harder next time.
How hard are you on yourself?
I don't know. I'm hard on myself because I don't know. I've been at it for a few years, so I feel like whenever I do have a video that didn't do as well, I'll be like, God, I knew better. I should have known better, or I should have tried harder. Or I feel like oftentimes I'm a procrastinator. It's the worst thing ever. It'll be like the day before I wanted a video to go up, and I'm stressing and I'm rushing to edit where I could have taken my time and edited all week. So I feel like I'm hard on myself.
I think if you look in the dictionary, that's the definition of procrastinator.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So I'm hard on myself, but I feel like you have to be if you're going to be self-employed.
Right.
Otherwise, you're not going to get far.
What has been your friends' reaction to the videos?
My friends love it. They have a lot of them have been in them in the past, or at least have been like in the background of Alicia's videos a lot. And they think it's super fun. They get to go to events with me sometimes, or they've met subscribers, or oftentimes they have younger cousins or nieces and nephews that know me and watch my videos, which is always they're like, oh yeah, that's Ashley. That's weird. And they'll send me pictures of their nephews like watching videos or something like that, and it's super cute.
What has been your favorite event that you've gone to?
That's a good question. I think my favorite venue or event that I went to was either VidCon or Playlist.
What about VidCon did you like?
My first VidCon was really, really fun. I think it was extra fun because it was my first. Obviously,
Right.
I'd never been before, but it's just being surrounded by people that are just like you. Whereas, like, I feel even though it's becoming a more understood job, it's still really weird to explain to people, and people think it's odd that you're self-employed and that you're filming yourself, and they don't understand it completely.
Well, it's generational because I will
It
tell
is.
people I represent YouTube stars, and they say,
Yeah.
"What? What's that?
What does that
What's
mean?
an influencer?"
I don't get it. Yeah. So it's still an up and coming idea, but to be in a huge building filled with people who do the same thing that you do, it's very empowering, and it makes you feel like, okay, because I feel like in reality, I feel odd, like I feel weird about what I do, and I'm sure Alicia would say the same thing. Like, we feel a little bit different because no one really fully understands what we're doing. So when you're in a room where everyone does the same thing and they're all creative and they're all trying to create these weird concepts and get new content out there, it's very much makes you feel like you have a place and you're doing something good. So it's empowering for us, and then at the same time, the building's like halfway. It's half creators and then it's half subscribers. So you get to meet people who can.
How was
give you
that
real
to have
feedback.
all of your, not all, but a large number of fans in one spot?
It's weird. It's really weird. I try not to think about it too much because I feel like it'll freak me out. But like walking out and like hearing them like. Yell my name or ask about my dog or want to take a picture with me, or God, when they want me to like sign something, I want to like cry and be like, why? Why me? I don't
What's
get
the strangest thing you've been asked to sign?
Nothing. I haven't gotten anything strange. I've gotten a lot of like body parts, so they'll just be like, sign my arm or sign my forehead.
And what do they do? Take a picture of it and that's how they save it?
Yeah, that's how they save it, I guess. I don't know, but I remember doing that with the band.
Which band?
It was a band. I don't even think I knew them. Oh, it was Plus One. It was like an old band. They weren't even that big, but I loved them. But I remember being like, sign my hand. Like, it was just in the moment. But that's why I think it's weird when they asked me to do it, because that's something I did with people that I loved at that age. So
I remember reading somewhere where you said if you weren't a YouTuber, you wanted to be a rock star.
I did. That was my plan. that was my
Were you going to be the
dream.
lead singer or the drummer?
I was going to be the drummer, and that was my goal all through my like whole life until, you know, I grew up and was like, that's not happening. But yeah, that was the plan, and I still play. I love it very much.
Any thought of transitioning into music videos?
I know. The question that all of my friends that like really know me want to know, they're always like, when are you going to do like a drum video?
And
I would love to, but one, it freaks me out. I think it's the one thing that I haven't really shared on social media in any way. Like, I've shown pictures and I'll show like quick snippets, but I've never actually done a full video, and no one's ever actually seen that full part of me. So I feel like that's a little scary for me. And then two, even though I know they would be really supportive, like,
what if they don't like it?
What if they don't like it? It's a very vulnerable thing.
This is my passion, and what if they don't
here's
like
something
it?
I love, and they're like, oh, honey, you're not good. Like, don't put that back up there. So it's annoying, and I need to do it, and everyone's been telling me to, so I should, and I will at some point, but
Not today.
the stress that I feel just thinking about it. It's okay. When it happens, I'll let you know.
How about you singing?
Oh, I'm not a singer. I can sing. I told you I was in choir, so
Right.
I can sing, but that just because you can doesn't mean you should, you know? I would be a solid background vocalist.
My younger son told my wife, you have the kind of voice that where you should sing in your head.
Oh, that's like a backhanded.
He was like 8 when he said it. So
That's amazing. I have friends who have such talented, amazing voices, who can sing so well. So I feel like it's easy for me to listen to that and be like, that's a singer.
right.
if you ever need some background harmonies, you let me know. But I would not be a singer.
So you talked about your fans. Who is your target audience?
It's grown, actually. It used to be young girls. And now I would say the age range is from 12 to 22. So it's a very wide age range, but they're
female,
almost all female. I think 97 or 98% female. So it used to definitely be a lot younger. Like the peak was 18, I think. So the fact that we're at 22 is very exciting because I've been wanting to age it up a bit. So it's hard, but it's hard though, because it's I'll try to make videos. Right now it's back to school season. I'll try to, do it back to school, but make it also for college age. So whereas before I feel like it was very elementary, middle school, high school. Now I'm trying to be okay, let's bring in let's talk about college courses and let's talk about note taking and it's been good, and it makes me happy that they're getting older.
What has been your favorite video?
Of mine?
Of yours?
I adore my mother, and I had her do a Mom Go Shopping For Me video a while ago. And I think it was my absolute favorite video I've ever filmed because no one had ever seen my mom to that extent on either mine or my sister's channel. And so the response I got, everyone loved her and adored her. So that was great. But then she genuinely, she was so fun to work with because she's such a little perfectionist. So she really stressed, but I made her go. I gave her my credit card and told her to go buy me 3 outfits. And she was just stressing and trying to get the perfect thing together. And it was so much fun to edit. And I think it did really well too. So I think that's my favorite video.
Where did your ability to perform come from?
That's a good question. Well, ever since I was a little kid, I've played drums on stage for my church, for my school. I was always in the plays.
So being in front of a live audience isn't something that bothers you?
No, I actually prefer it versus more intimate settings. I think it's really easy to just, because I don't know who they are, it doesn't bother me that they're watching, I guess. And it never has. But if it's asking me to play drums or perform in some way on stage in front of a ton of people doesn't bother me. But if you ask me to play in front of 10, I'll be no, don't make me. I don't want to. It's stressful. So I think.
Well, that's because you can see everybody's face.
Exactly. And you can see, do they like it? Do they not like it? Right. And
are they
they're watching
phone?
You. Yeah. I'm oh, shoot, they don't like it. So I think it stems from playing music my whole life.
You had a video where you talk about your love for TV shows and movies.
I do. And
how to achieve your resolutions. Mm-hmm. Do you have any secret guilty pleasure TV shows?
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with so many. My number, I have a bunch. Should I just list my top 5? I don't know. Game of Thrones is my jam, and it's my favorite. I'm upset that we have to wait a full other year, but it's okay. They can do that. It's going to be great. Westworld is my other favorite. And have you watched Mindhunter?
Yes.
Are you done? Are you caught up?
Yes.
It's such a good show. I've got all my friends watching it. It's such a creepy show, but it's so good, and the acting is phenomenal, and the concept and just going back in time and watching them realize that there's so much more to the criminal mind than anyone would ever expect. It's interesting.
You're a true crime podcast listener.
I love true crime.
Because you just turned me on to one.
My Favorite Murder is my favorite. I'm seeing them on Halloween. They're going to be out here in LA.
Well, I went online. I didn't even know they had a live tour date.
They have a live tour. They're doing so well. I'm so proud of them. Yeah. I love them so much. They're so funny too. And it's a weird concept, I feel for most people to be talking about something so horrible, but then laughing at the same time. It's this weird, this feels unnatural. I shouldn't be laughing at this, but they do it. They execute it really well. Have you watched The Center with Jessica Biel?
No, but somebody just told me to do
You
that.
would love it. She did a great job. It's the best I've ever seen her act in her whole career. And then the second season just came out, it came out right now. And she's producing it or directing it. I think she's directing it.
Speaking of The Center, you just recently had a Las Vegas trip.
I did have a Vegas trip.
How's that for transition?
It was a great transition. The Center to Sin City. It was so much fun. I took a bus.
From LA?
From LA to Vegas, which I never thought I'd do in my life. It sounds like a horrible idea. It wasn't. It was a great idea. It was, I took a Greyhound, and it was the chillest, most relaxing Vegas trip of my life because I didn't have to drive. And it was really clean, and I just slept.
I confess, I didn't even know you could take a bus.
I didn't know either. When I first was told about the opportunity, I was like, take a bus? How long? Is it longer than normal driving? In my head, it felt like it would be, but it wasn't. It was only 4 hours. 4 hours, I think. But it was great because I went with friends. And we vlogged the whole experience, and it's just amazing not having to drive because we could watch movies. I listened to podcasts, and it was great.
Okay, I want to shift gears again on you.
Okay, go.
What is your definition of an influencer?
Ooh. I think, it's kind of in the name already, but I feel like the definition of an influencer, it's someone who can sway people to watch things that maybe they haven't watched before, or buy things that they haven't considered buying before, or kind of taking someone's idea of something and maybe being like, oh, maybe you'll like this instead, or really push, for example, with fashion, really giving them, influencing a certain style or a certain type of music or a podcast, for example, or
you influenced me to listen to the podcast.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything that I like, I put it out there, and I feel like people will give it a try. And it's become this trust thing.
Do you consider yourself to be an influencer?
Yeah, I think I am.
And when did that realization happen?
I feel like it hit me probably two years ago.
When was the first time somebody recognized you?
I was shopping. I do it a lot, first of all. And I think I was shopping with my sister, and we ran into a subscriber who knew me. And it was a big deal because they always knew Alicia and they never knew me. And it was fine. It was fine. But for the first time, they asked to take a picture with Ashley. And then I remember me and my sister, our eyes met at the same time, and we were like, okay, sure, here. And then I'm fixing my hair, freaking out. I wanted to make the perfect picture, but it was exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time because I was like, oh, this is happening.
How often does it happen now?
It happens pretty often. So if it obviously depends on what I'm doing, but it's gotten to the point where if I go grocery shopping,
somebody will recognize you.
Someone will recognize me, and it's almost always the younger ones that'll come up. So usually high school age will walk up and be like, hey, I watch your videos. Or they'll just be like, oh my God, can I get a picture? And I'll hear them coming sometimes, and they don't think I hear them, but I hear them like squeaking as they're walking up. They're so giddy and excited, and I'll just be like, hello.
Okay, so forget your YouTube personality.
Okay.
How would your friends describe you?
My friends, I feel like, it's funny, I feel like they would say I'm a little more on the reserved side. And, but really funny, because once you get to know me, I'm super talkative and really, I like to have fun and goof around. But right off the bat, I'm a little more on the reserved side.
How did you grow your following? I get it that you have a sister that started first.
Yeah.
But you don't get 1 million subscribers without doing something on your own.
Correct, yes. So having been in my sister's videos for so long, I did get a boost right at the beginning of followers, but you definitely have to keep them there.
It's a different
Exactly.
It's a different view.
Yeah, so I did get a good bump from my sister, but then over the years I had to not only keep those subscribers there, but then they grew, obviously. So I think when it comes to growing subscribers, again, a consistent upload schedule.
Because they say so.
Because they need that. They want to it's like, I really think YouTube is the new like sitcom or reality TV. And everyone has that TV show and they know on Tuesday they're going to have their show. So if you're not there, they're going to forget about you.
I know I get mad when my podcasts don't upload at the right time. Yeah. I was waiting for that podcast.
Yeah. One of my favorite YouTubers is Shane Dawson, and he has been doing this amazing new concept of content, and he's been he'll film for like 3 weeks now and then put up a really extra long 3-part series video, which I love. But I kind of like, part of me misses the weekly because I used to watch him weekly. But obviously I love what he's doing now. But that just goes to show how much I looked forward to his videos every single week, which helps me realize how my subscribers would feel if my videos aren't up every single week. Yeah.
If you were to start over, how would you go about building your following?
That'd be hard. I feel like, on a side note, I feel like it'd be so hard to start now compared to like when I started.
Well, that was the twin sister to this question, is what advice would you give somebody that wants to start now?
Yes. Like when I started, starting now, I feel like you're expected to have high quality cameras, microphones, editing. It's all expected to be really well produced now. Whereas before it was just a webcam that you would sit and talk to. Music was just the cheapest music in the background. The microphones would constantly, I would either have it super high pitched or it would like squeal sometimes. I don't know. Filming back then was really easy. I feel like starting now would be really hard. But if I had to start all over again, I don't think I would change anything. I think I would try to not stress about what videos I'm putting up and just put up videos. Because in the end, I feel like people always love the videos where I just sit and talk and be myself more than they do the ones that I try really hard on. Yeah. I think they like the ones where I'm just like myself sitting in my room talking about whatever topic of the day.
So as somebody that's in the trenches doing this, where do you see it going in the next year, 2 years?
Oh my God. Like the statement I said, I feel like it is the new reality TV. If you talk to high school students today, no one watches, even me, like I don't watch TV anymore. I have my Netflix shows that I watch and my TV shows that I watch, but I watch it all online now. I don't watch it live. Not live, but I don't watch it on TV anymore. Right. You know what I mean? And if you talk to...
Which, by the way, makes the networks nervous.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's freaking out. No one knows what to do. And it's happening so fast. It's been a really quick transition. If you talk to high school students today, they'll all say their favorite YouTubers, and they won't talk about... Like my network back in the day was the CW. Or the WB. Like it was the WB and then it was the CW. And now I don't even...
You're not there?
I don't watch any of it anymore. I watch it all online.
Well, and you're not a sports person, but short of sports.
Yeah.
It's all available online.
Yeah. My dad watches it online. And before, I remember like him saying, I have the TV at 5, because like a game's on or something like that. Whereas like that's not a thing anymore. So I really think that YouTube, along with shows and stuff like that, it's all going online, and it's becoming the new version of reality TV. I'm gonna bet on that.
Stick with that.
Yeah.
Yes. And where do you see yourself in the next year or two?
I see myself still doing this, hopefully doing it better, more consistently.
Once a week.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I'll still be doing it. I think hopefully it'll be more of a team effort, not just me. That'd be great. But, yeah, hopefully I'll still be in it, trying to make it happen.
Where can people find you?
On YouTube.
I know. Where on YouTube?
On the tube.
The tube.
It's XO Miss Ashley Nichole or Ashley Nichole Vlogs are my channels. And then if you look up @Nichole_XO on Instagram. You'll find me
Thank you.
there
It's
also.
been a lot of fun.
This has been so fun.
That's it for this time. If you enjoyed our podcast, please write a review on iTunes and tell your friends to subscribe. If you have any questions about influencers or suggestions for future episodes, email them to John at Pfeiffer@pfeifferlaw.com. Thank you for listening.